I'll hand you over now to Karrie Liu, who's going to talk about her experiences of being an ECM and, like me, sort of graduating a bit from it.
So yeah, hi everyone, my name is Karry. So a majority will know who I am because I'm in the ECM for quite a while, and then now I'm doing something else with the IMA. So where should I start? Should I start very beginning? So I am a girl who come to UK to do my A-level, and before that I was in Hong Kong, and then I do my A-level, and then basically do my undergrad in York University. So during that time, to be honest, no clue what I'm going to do. So in the time, not like you guys, young and beautiful, that got like internet and things like that. No, we don't have internet at the time that I do in university. I know hard to believe, but no. You still, we need to still queuing in the library to queue for the, I don't know if any of you remember, but the time that when I go to uni is, I need to go to university and then queuing up for the computer room and then wait for people coming out, and then you can use the internet, and then you still need to homework, you need to print it out. So it's that kind of era that. So what I'm trying to say is that at that moment of time, data science is not a big thing. It's not even a thing, to be honest. And then I really big certainty is I'm not going to stay in uni forever. I mean, no judgment for you guys that who go into university is fine, but it does not talk to me, if that makes sense. So that is that. The other thing I don't want to do is I don't want to work in finance. And another really strong no. The reason is, I don't know, is because I'm coming from a culture that they're measuring success with money a lot, and I'm quite rebellion on that front. I'm like, I can be successful, I just don't want to do finance, it's just not me. So I don't want to do accounting because it's boring as well. And then I don't want to do teaching because young children drive me nuts. See, I didn't swear, see, I say nuts. Yeah, so there is like a lot of, it's like if you think about the traditional sense about like mathematics undergrad, I kind of running out of option, like what I'm going to do. And then during the first year of my university, my grandmother in Hong Kong who passed away on the ambulance. That is the moment that I kind of have a direction that why I want to do what I want to do. I want to work in healthcare, but obviously I'm not a clinician, I'm not a biologist. I just know math. Just that is the thing that I know. But any other thing, I'm just like, don't talk to me. I no clue what you guys talking about. So that is the decision that I make is I want to do something related to healthcare. So NHS is kind of the moment that I go into. To be honest, when I applied for a job in NHS or Department of Health, I didn't even know analysis of job. I just know that they're just saying that, oh, any people from science subject apply for it. And I apply for it, and then they let me in, and then they're like, oh, do you want to stay with us? So yeah, so that is the how I starting is in there for about a year. I realized that actually I'm quite good at math. I shouldn't say that. And also quite good at Excel spreadsheet. I know sound really weird, but you're like, okay, there is never experience before. I finally got a moment to do it. And then after a year, I shouldn't say that. Promise I'm not swearing, but I shouldn't say that. But I want to stay in UK, but I cannot because I don't have the work visa. So that is why I go back to university to do my first master. And that is the reason why that I do a master related to healthcare analytics. At that moment of time, they got something called a math with modern application. So it's linked to our programming majority of time. So now if you're looking at our programming, it's like old-fashioned now, but at that moment in time, it's like, up and coming kind of thing. So I did a course about it. I really enjoy it. And then afterward, I stay in UK using the post-study visa to stay on. And then I really enjoy staying in NHS. So for that 10 years, I basically got promotion every year in that period of time. Really enjoying it, really good at math, really good at everything. But, well, not everything, math. But I don't know what else I can do. So that is where the beginning of LinkedIn as well, 2011. LinkedIn suddenly popped up. I know Dan don't do that. I know LinkedIn is not your thing, but nowadays LinkedIn is stuff, right? So I go to LinkedIn and basically looking at people that who got a maths degree and what they do. And then I realized that someone got something called CMath. I had no idea what the hell is that. I just know that, hang on a minute, it's not a PhD, it's not a master's degree, it's not anything. What is chartered mathematician? So again, Google it. Find out that actually it's about people that who use math in their job for 7 years, then you can apply for the status of it. I mean, you need to prove that you use math every day, kind of that. So I managed to do that. I got this, so I'm in the beginning of the early career mathematician group. So, and then I realized that they got a mini group called early mathematician, as well as a big people group that got council and everything. And then you're looking at people like, oh, everyone got a PhD and doctor and stuff. You're like, are they happy for me to mingle around? And I'm like, you guys seems to be too high level. I feel really frightened to talk to you guys. So what I did is, well, what about I just check out the early career mathematician group to see whether what they make of. And also, after I working in the industry, the people that who wanted to talk about mathematics is going to very limited. The reason why for that is, one, if I talk math all the time, they think you're geeky, which doesn't look good. Second, being a girl, you always got that kind of like, if you being a girl and talking about math, you're already working with coding a lot. So you're already being a minority group or a minority group. And then if you're talking about math more, they would just like, you are super weird, I don't want to talk to you. So I'm like, okay. But the thing is, you still have that kind of curiosity about mathematics. Nothing, how do you say, not necessarily about the subject about healthcare or statistics and things like that, not about work, but it's just generally speaking, what is the fun story about math? Like, we use math every day because for me, I'm a type of person that number taught to me far than word, so that is why that I find it really interesting to find out more. But after you go to uni, you don't have that kind of routine or group that you're like, oh, I still want to learn, but I don't want to sit down in the lesson or lecture or exam and things like that. I don't like, but I do want to learn about math more. So I realized that is a magazine. I learned a lot of things about that magazine. But I mean, sometimes, don't get me wrong, I have no clue about the mathematics that they're talking about because it's too deep. But some of the story that in it, you're like, how to make a cup of tea, that one of the story that in ECM doc is really cool because it's like, how can you link that with mathematics? And then nowadays, because of data science getting more popular and popular, so that become more easy to digest to people that you're a mathematician. So for that, I'm always grateful. So, I mean, being a career girl, you want to stand out too. So getting this chartered mathematician made me look cool, very cool. Yeah, and then after that, after I got that, I got interviewed by the magazine. Oh, that is a really lovely story about that, actually. So I got interviewed by the Mathematics Today. They put online. Someone from Queen's Mary University find me online. He said to me, we are looking for someone to be the advisory board in University of York Math Department. And I checked your, I have looked at your article in the Maths Today. Will you be interested to join as an industry representative? I look at the email, first thing is, no way, it's spam. Second is because at that moment, I'm from University of York. So basically, it's like, how can you go someone from Queen Mary University and talk to me about York University, right? That just doesn't really happen. And then me being me, firstly, Google him. Actually, he's a real person. Got a picture too. Like, okay, that is real. The next thing I did is I contacted York University, my supervisor in York Uni. What the hell is your advisory board? Never heard about that before. Then I'm like, oh, then he explained to me what is that. Secondly, who is that person who's looking for me? Never heard of him before. oh, did you know he is really famous in the math industry? Do you not know about that? I'm like, do I look like I know about him? Really? So for me, it's really, really, really grateful. I got to sit in that advisory board for 3 years as an industry that advisory that coming in to talk about. We look at the what is it called? The curriculum to see how that is appropriate, and also I got a voice to the table that way. I don't think you're teaching it right. So and also I meet the people representative during that 3 years. And what I find is because at that moment of time, I'm still young and beautiful, so basically similar age to the university student. And they say that they find it easier to talk to me than the board because they look, I'm sorry, I don't want to use the old word, but you know what I mean, they're more senior and more experienced. I'm just a tiny little girl that look more like appropriate to their age. So they kind of like, because they know that I'm trying to help them and kind of bitch them. So that 3 years, I learned something I never learned as a mathematician. How can I improve them? And also how to teach math to not just undergrad, but also people at work that who have A level or know math a little bit better than others. So how can I do that? Because like you guys said before, it's like math is everywhere, but how can we use it? How can we make it like daily life? That is another thing. So I've been there for 3 years, very excited and happy, and look good on my CV, still good on my CV too, because people always say, oh, you're in the advisory group before. Great. So that, and then afterward, joined the early career mathematician group as a chair. That 3 years, let's just say, we got up and down, high and low. Some weird thing happened, some not so good thing happened, and then also some really good thing happened. So during that 3 years, because like I said, I really like math and really want to learn math as well. So I joined a group that were people that who really love math and don't think that I'm crazy about talking math, so it's great. So that we set it, so like you guys said before, we used to have 2 different ECM conference, like proper in-person conference before. So during that time, also good because you're really talking about math that you never touch, and also just listen. And going to the conference, you always think that that is an academic thing. So that is another thing that you look cool because, you know, I still going to the conference and I sometimes understand what they're talking about. Not all the time, sometimes. So during the time in there, I met a lot of great people. Nathan is one of them that I met during the ECM conference, and Nick as well. It's one of the time that I met as well. So that is what I'm doing. And then going on, after the ECM, after I stepped down, I did something crazy. So I become a stalker on the internet again. Make sure I cut that, not anyone know that I'm a stalker. So after I stepped down from ECM, I feel like I'm kind of in the middle, like I'm older, but not old enough yet. If that makes sense. So you kind of like you have a little bit more experience, but you're not in the senior yet. So in the middle, I kind of like, I still want to learn and do something. So what I did was going to the ECM historical committee page, look for all the people on that list. Dan is one of them that being contacted by me. And then I just send an email to him and say, I finished my, the step down of the ECM. I still want to work in, I just want to know what other people is doing. Do you mind if we work together? And since then we work together quite a lot for about two years now, right? And he bring me to a lot of places. He take me to like different conference and things like that. So I'm always grateful. He is like a mentor to me. So for me, another great thing happened. So going forward, so in 2023, June 2023, that is the time that I contact Ed and Nick. The reason is, I think it's the 8th of June 2004, isn't it? The first ECM conference. Yeah. So that was the day that the very first ECM conference ever happened. And I know that these 2 things is still in the ECM committee at that moment of time. So I contact them and say, hey, should we do something about that? And then, do you remember it's 1 year ago, so 2023. So what I did is, wait, if the first meeting that we got is 2004, so the 20th anniversary should be 2023, because you should have 20 different conference already. And then that two things said to me, no. And say that to me is like, well, you do not count things from one, you need to count things from zero. So we have a debate for about half an hour, isn't it? Something like that. On it should be a 20th university or 21 year. So, and then basically, and then we realized that actually, from a cultural point of view, Asian culture sometimes birth start with one, and West start with zero. So we're both right in the sense that it depends on how you're counting it. If you start with, the birthday of one, that literally 21 years today, and if we're starting with zero, they will be 20. So literally, I need to prove myself with a Wikipedia page of them that why I counting from one. And then they send me back with why they counting as zero. It's like, just like a girl wins sometimes. And yeah, so that is how it is. And then I want to say good on Nick, because Nick is the one who put that across to the council that we should celebrate that 20 years together. So it's really cool because it gives me an excuse to stalking people again, because they asked me to find out like who is in the committee and who else is still alive. And when I say alive, still active in the maths committee scene. And then, yeah, so that is what happened. So basically, and that started, and for me, it's a really cool group. Not like people like there that who still work in university and, lecturer and PhD and also like all there. But being people in the industry, it's really cool thing that you're still learning by just networking and also just knowing what other people is doing as well. So that is one thing. Second thing for me is really cool is, at the moment I got my own company. So I'm a consultant working with industry. Majority is healthcare and pharmaceutical company that who doing data science work and also math work. But half of my time doing, I call them corporate client. So basically, any of them give me money to do well, I just do it. It's really horrible to say it like that. I love them, I promise you, but that is the case. But another half of my time, I'm supporting 7 different charities. So one of them is linked to, the reason why I mentioned is like, one of them is linked to a 17-year-old girl who set up a charity called Pioneer Math. She is only 17 at that moment of time. It's 2-3 years ago, and then she find me from the ECM website. And she knew that I'm active, and funny enough, I live down the road from her. So, and she is also Chinese too, so that is why it's kind of like doing that. So we have been doing a lot of like charity kind of work. Like she wants someone from like kind of like healthcare side and NHS side. So we do a lot of things together. Like we set up NHS work experience day for the year 12 student who coming in. So funny enough, and one of my girl who was in the conference, like Ross met her before, and she explained that how her experience in the NHS is, and also she managed to publish a poster in one of the conference that IMA doing it. So she's only 13, year 13, so she's already got a poster out. So that is quite impressive. And for me, is I just want to use that experience. Like you guys say, they are earlier, but the thing is, you can start things earlier than that. And also, if you got a chance, you can also do it. Just not, how to say, I'm not saying that what she is doing is very advanced mathematics. It's not. She's only year 13. She's only doing her math, but she is using the data that managed to do a cancer analysis that is into the level when we show it into the audience, a lot of them did not believe that she is only year 13. Is that good? And one or two people come to me and say, if she's looking for a job, let them know, because they would definitely want that. So I think ECM would be a place for people like that. You don't know where to start, you don't know where to go. At least you got a group of people that you can ask questions. You don't need to ask it in an open forum like this. You can talk to us. And also, like James said before, we got a list of the people that you can find online, because like all the committee is already online and also historic as well. And LinkedIn is, I think you see our event in LinkedIn as well, right? So things like that, if you really want to talk to us, please contact. And also if you want to involve the ECM with different capacity, talk to the current committee and let them know that what is your idea. I'm not saying that they will do it, but you never know. Sometimes like the 20th anniversary, the argument between 20 and 21 become something that James and Ed is starting to working to make something happen. So, you never know. So that is my presentation and hope that is okay. See, I told you I can do 25 minutes.